nobody's watching yet. That's why I don't announce these things. Okay, so let's make sure everybody's on. Yeah, X is on. YouTube is on. How is everybody? It's Friday Night Live. I've been out in the sun. I've been out adventuring with Logan. He surprised called me, and we went to Hatchet Creek. So that's what we're going to do here in a minute. Bear with me, just doing a tad bit of PR. So I just got cleaned up. Logan and I went and spent the afternoon um, doing this. There's Sarah. Perfect day for live stream. It is. I think so. Let's announce to a few people that we're gonna show off Hatchet Creek here today. And then we're going to get rolling. I've got some B-roll that I'm going to throw up here just to start giving you guys a taste of the countryside, because not only is this place magical, right, but the entire geographic region is something to behold. So I did try to get a little of that in. Okay, brilliant. That's handled. See, I'm getting quicker. Okay, can you hear that? So I've learned that I'm not big enough yet, that if I play like Dr. Dog or a few other things, then they've given YouTube permission, right? So I don't get flagged for it. I'm not big enough yet. So that's cool. Um, but other than that, I've just got my tea here. We're going to look at some stuff from Hatchet Creek today. Hatchet Creek is, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Google Maps, and we're going to take a look at how this place relates to the places we've seen so far. So we'll take Google Earth, and I'll hope I get off screen and blow my nose. How was that? Is that good? That was good. Okay. Still running. Okay, Google Earth. Right. Let me check the chat while all of this loads. Let's look for, let's see, where were we yesterday? Yesterday we were at the day before, Corn Creek. So let's start there, and I'm going to show you just how these places align along the east bank of the Coosa River, traversed there by none other than Soto himself. That was one thought I'd had while I wait on people, is we might look for a few. Let's get this up. Come on, man! You gotta not only be the talent, right? But you gotta produce as well. So we need Google Earth. Let's share. All right, now let's get our butts back over here. And let's see how, okay, that's not so bad then, there. Okay, brilliant. Okay, now, the only other thing I need to do to be diligent in my efforts here is, oh, look, let's send a link there. Okay, now you get to hear me talk to text. Laugh out loud timing. So I was going live at 7-Eleven. That was isn't that silly? But it was my goal because the time was working out. So, oh, and I need to send Logan. So Logan will appear in these videos. Let's send Logan the link, and we've got Corn Creek. As you guys see, this is where we left off yesterday. And then I'm done, and let me get over and be a diligent dude and pull up the chat, because that way I've got too much going on up here. You know what I'm saying? There's Sarah. Yo. How them steaks? Okay, and let's turn the volume down on that. Rock and roll. Okay, everybody. Today, we're going to look at Hatchett Creek. I have a lot of stuff on Hatchett Creek, right? I have put together even a YouTube video on Hatchett Creek and sort of seated it in its place between the story of Mobilla, which we'll mostly focus on here today, but also brushes up against the material which I have deemed antediluvian Alabama, right? You will see in some of our watch through precisely why I call this sort of the intertidal zone. Now, we will see here in a second when I bring up Google Earth precisely how far north I went today. But again, this location is straight up on the Coosa. Friday night, we've got three watching, so rock and roll. I'm just going to start telling stories of what happened today, guys, and I'm going to show you where I was, and I'm going to drink my tea, so hopefully my fourth or fifth wind. Man, my feet, I think I nearly broke a toe. Today's really good footage, okay? Jacob had a parlay with a snake. I mean, he got, the snake attempted to strike. Which was good, though. He learned lessons, and he stayed on leash the rest of the time. So let me orient myself where I can see this. Great. Okay, guys. So I'm going to minimize me here. Unless anyone else on the chat wants to say hello or say happy Friday or just say how the steaks were delicious. Good. So I get in, guys. And you'll see here in a moment, I think I've got a good 25 minutes or so of footage, some great footage from Hatchet Creek, so we'll just give that a watch through. But you'll see what all it took to get that. And so as soon as I get in, and I'm getting ready to clean up, and I'm debating maybe a little hummus, right? Because I'm trying to, I want to get this up and rolling before it gets too late. And so I look in Discord, and Sarah's just showing these honking slabs of cowhide, and I just wanted them right then, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't have them. It was just images in front of me, and I just sort of sat and dealt with the disappointment of that, unalterable reality, because she made me wish that they were indeed in front of me, because I can make fire, I mean, like, no problem, so, but I couldn't. The screen is just, just pixels. I was disappointed. All right, let's minimize me, and let's get ourselves geo-located, everybody. Okay, let's layout producer coming, sir. Let's check this orientation. No, that's not allowed. I think this will work just fine. Yeah, okay. So now I have to switch other screens. Bye, guys. I hope I'll stay in shot and this mic holds. I'll get a little closer. My forehead gets bigger. A lot of honey in the tea. I like it that way. Okay, Google Earth is what I need to operate. So where we left off the day before yesterday was here at Corn Creek, right? So now we're going to scan out to give everyone that has seen the last couple of episodes perspective. Here is our impact crater, 85 million years old, sits here at Wetumpka, Alabama, with downtown, and the house from Albert Finney's house from Big Fish, great movie filmed here, is right down here. Okay, we also began introducing ourselves to the idea last time of, did we, where is it, there, they've scrubbed it already, no, I'm kidding, of the intaglia would be the right word, intaglio, the winged serpent, it's what I termed it, earthwork here at in Jackson Lake, another location of Big Fish, the town of Spectre, right? So if you've seen the movie Big Fish, look there. there's the town of Spectre. Okay, this is known as Goat Island locally because there's a herd of goats. And if you want to see this, check out my ex. I did a whole piece on it. It's in my highlights. Maybe I'll link it below if I get that efficient. Now, odd looking island, is it not? With odd looking old growth cedar and sort of very odd swampland formed into this head by these creeks. And just a quick review, that then were forced into channels, which again I've been in, and it's swamp and they're old growth. Yeah, and yeah, not this episode, another one. And then of course Mobilla to finish our orientation, get the honey out of my throat, is here, right? So now we are right over here on the Coosa River, right? We did the video in Mobilla with that crescent mound. Now we went over last episode here to Corn Creek, right? With all we talked about the quartz and these rock islands. Now what we're going to do today, what we did today, and you'll get to do in a moment, is we're going to go a good bit further north, but along the Coosa River, and explore an area right around Hatchett Creek today and start to see some very different type rocks exhibit themselves along with the absolute beauty of the place. So if I take us along the Coosa River, give you the pano here. All right, now we've got Jordan Dam, which begins Lake Jordan. There's another series you'll be seeing here soon on this show. What it's a show, isn't it? Putting on a show, that's for sure. Trying, it's not really, is it? It's terrible, But listen, look, I said I would do 3 in a week, to myself and to y'all, and this was kind of it. It's either tonight or nothing because of other podcasting responsibilities. The rest of the weekend, I've got some group stuff, and then my regular stuff with Ricardo, the shaman and the philosopher. Sunday after Mars Disclosure, and then tomorrow night the roundtables. So that's 3 shows this weekend. So to get my third in, here we are. Went out with Logan to Hatchett Creek. Let's continue this layout, and then I'll give you the background story. So when I took Swayback Bridge is a place you'll see in the future, and that's here, right? So again, we moved north, and I spent a lot of time here, right? Now, if we keep following the Coosa up to where it dams again, and State Highway 22, we're going to find the edge of Hatchett Creek, right? Okay, so here you have the Coosa River. Here, Hatchett Creek takes its flow, and you can see this is, a whole lot of nothing, through here, right? Okay, so I have lots of video from up in here in this area, which we're not going to see today. Just giving you some, there's a lot, guys. From some anomalies looking with LiDAR up in here, which I located, that I've been to a couple of times and have a lot of video of. We'll take a peek at. Now today we're going to focus on the rocks and the creek because it was a beautiful day. And if we are, in fact, yes, we are down here at the correct location. We have Hatchett Creek here, and no, this isn't the one, is it? No. Swamp Creek, look at me. Yeah, this is it, because Sardis Baptist Church, and here's Kelly's Crossroads. Yeah, I just didn't recognize that place on the right because I've never been over there. Okay, so again, you're gonna see a little B-roll of this drive. I came southern. Here's Kelly's Crossroads here. Little store where I met Logan today, and you'll see some video of the dam, which is right back here. So this is the, again, northernmost dam of the Jordan area, and you'll see me drive over this bridge right here as soon as we open. Okay, so now as we get back to Kelly's Crossroads here, today we're going to go take a little walk up what they call here Swamp Creek, right? And Swamp Creek, if you were watching 2 days ago, you will you'll remember that Cade, I saw Cade in the chat. Let me bring myself back up here. And Cade was someone who had originally found this location with Logan, who Logan called me when I was on my way up there today. It was like, hey, you want to hang? And I was like, I'm headed to Hatchet. And it's like, I'm coming. I don't have any shorts. I was like, I had on 2 pair. You know what I mean? So, hey, he came and met. And we talk about that here. But, yeah, it's one of those, look, you follow the signs, right? So when I saw Cade, who popped in the chat just yesterday out of nowhere, Cade and Logan found this place years and years ago. Cade then left town several years back and went out to the West Coast, maybe 6 months ago. Oh shit, maybe close to a year ago now. Time flies, guys. I ran into Cade in the Dallas airport, and he was flying back here. And then yesterday he popped in the chat. So in this video, which I'm about to start here, you see us head up and explore, putting in here, and then you'll see me walk all along up until about here. Yeah. So this was the furthest I'd ever been with the phone. I'd been up this way before, so this is exciting for me to put out here for you guys. And we're going to get it rolling now. Tony didn't eat hers if you want. Why is that girl not eating steak? Really? I mean, as much as she gets into, she needs her protein, man, and fat. Tell her to eat the fat, too. Maybe, have you tried just giving her the fat? Like, sort of as an anti-approach, I don't know. That's really good for you. I wish she'd eat her steak. Tell her salmon said, eat your steak. Now, see, there's our joke already, and she wrote it. Tell Tony she wrote our joke. Salmon says, eat your steak. The fish. It's sort of like Chick-fil-A. But anyway, she pointed at the screen, I guess, and I'm salmon, something along those lines. Okay. All right, let's stop sharing this. Let's get ourselves back full screen. Let's welcome everybody that's watching. And let's start taking a look here at Hatchett Creek today. I got the candles lit. Okay. Okay. Share with our Friday night crowd the bit of footage we put up today. Okay, so I'm going to start out here at the very end because it's just a tiny little video and just give you guys a few seconds of the area around where we explored today. Maybe. It's always a maybe. So there's a buzzard on the bridge. Look on the left side of the bridge. It's just an amazing place, to ride, to walk. I've spent a lot of time bicycling these roads. Just amazing. We're not quite down into Elmore County yet here. You see these rolling hills. And then one more video. Again, just to such an area, man. Just such a magical place, The show is is meant to sort of start honing in after, again, introduction, right? I'm trying to introduce everybody to these locales over the course of these first several episodes. But, when you're talking the power of the place, getting to see, what's around it, what's the road there like, is helpful, I do believe, and I hope you find it to be so. So now we're going to head back to the beginning, and yeah, we're going to go. I don't think there's any exposition really needed here. Again, I have so much on this place, right? I've been up many sides. These things I'll show you, I've been up on, I've filmed. Today's goal was simple. I wanted to follow, the Coosa North and introduce everybody to this area, which again would have, easily been inhabited by the people referenced here and encountered by DeSoto, DeSoto, demon. Just go with that. Psychopath, human trafficking, mass murdering. Yeah, we know. Okay, so let's start our journey, guys. Thanks to everybody that's tuned in. I've got Amy there. Hey, Amy, how's your evening going? Yeah, Kelly's Cross. I parked in the parking lot there today. There was a hiker that came through. It's I think the Pinhoti Trail sort of tips down through there, but there's right there at that Hatchett Creek Park, there's the Coosa Trailhead, Coosa River. I forget what they named that trailhead that links up with the Pinhoti. But yeah, those primary springs up through there, and man, when you look at that place with LiDAR, there's strange stuff. Found several hills that were, anomalous themselves, look like crosses and all kinds of weird indentations. Okay, so here's heading up to Kelly's Crossroads. Hatchett Creek. We are crossing as we speak the northernmost dam of Lake Jordan on the Coosa I was trying River. To talk loud because I figured. Day before yesterday's episode, we looked at Corn Creek, which is just below the southernmost dam here on Lake Jordan. There's the dam. Give everybody a look at that. Oh, look, somebody down there fishing. And we are going to carry on about 8 miles. All right, I'm going to fast forward, guys. Just look at the rocks you start to. Here. It's the only point of this. But they get quite dramatic as we see. This is all cut rock. That. And here, there's nobody behind me. All right. So it's as though, the hill, right, now, rock. You'll want to keep all of this in mind. They had to cut it out, you see, to get down there and do the dam work. Creek. Going to meet Logan, by the way. You guys saw Cade. That's Jacob choking on a walking stick like a pro. You guys saw Cade pop into the chat in my last live stream, and Cade originally found this place up here at Hatchet Creek with Logan. Logan called out of the blue while I was on my way up here, wanted to know what I was doing. And I said, I'm heading to Hatchet Creek. Get your ass up here. He said he don't have any shorts on. I said, I got 2 pair on. Always prepared. Heading to Hatchet Creek. See you guys tonight. It's true. Arrival. Hatchet Creek. Maybe. So this is again why I filmed a lot today, because I remembered Jacob and I are waiting on Logan. He had to go to the state park. There's a little parking lot over there, as you see, to venture up this way. Yon way lie rocks. Let me fix this. That's the beginning. That way. And now over the course of this trek, you will see them grow as we walk north. You'll see that I parked over in a hole here, and Logan has a little low rider, so he needs to use the actual parking lot. Usually a little muddy down here, but the weather has been anything but wet, so the water is low. The rapids should be nice. Jacob is good and zoomied. And I'm completely out of cell phone range, so I can't post any of this until I see you guys tonight. Right now. You think I would have realized that? Hopefully Logan will get a move on, and you guys will see us in a bit. I think I even say it again. Up that way. It's like, retard, don't you realize you'll be sitting here talking to him now when you're showing him this and you reference it, then it's like, see, it works in an advert, you know, but it doesn't quite play when you're doing watch along. And what would be a trip to any creek without Jacob's? Maybe delay. Delay has been the theme here. Favorite activity. But there's plenty of content. Running off all of the butterflies. Here's two more up here. There they are. Yeah, it's the ubiquitous butterfly video. I've yet to have an adventure yet for these episodes without, look at all those butterflies, without the Jacob chasing butterfly bit. Logan showed up. So it's hard to show you guys here in the summer. Behind me are these, call them hills, and they look very pyramidal in shape. I'll pull up some more video I've got from past seasons here, and you can really see that these are giant piles of rocks. That's why I told you to pay attention to those rocks that we were cut through when we were driving ourselves up here. Yeah. Jason, remember, go find some footage from fall in your folder and show it to the folks now. Producer. So I'm not gonna do that. I already thought of that. The producer, come here, dude. Yep. Okay. So no, the producer had already in here had already thought of that, and I'm not, because I hadn't planned at that point to get quite as much footage. And for this little, trip to go quite where it did. So I'm not going to take the time. I will direct you to my Rumble channel. You can see a lot of early videos that I'm going to reference here again soon with Logan. Just scroll down my channel. But also, again, there's a Hatchett Creek video that doesn't quite focus on this side. It focuses on the other I pointed out at the beginning. Yeah. Okay, let's keep rolling. Change window, Jason. Then we've had our butterflies. So I think we get a spider later. The snake was in between. The snake was right up here on our right. Okay, so here we are. There's Logan spitting. I'm glad I wasn't zoomed in. And here, Jacob will stop covering the mic with the splashes. You guys can start to see the giant piles of rock that are these hills. Nice. See example here. Now, we are at the literal beginning. This is the first one of where these large rocks start stretching across the water. And coincidentally enough, Logan, we are right here at the spot where you and Cade were first led, where you led me. Here, we'll get over here. We both can. There, that big tree there. I can even flip over to Rumble. I can direct people, or we can flip over here during this live stream and show people the episodes I did when we came down here and you guided me through some shamanic meditation, right? Remember that? So, Logan, this was an area that you and Cade were just guided to. This very spot right here. Yeah.
We first went under the bridge and we crossed over to the bigger water.
Yeah, where that little stream is where you and I would go hiking, and we've got a lot of video showing what these big piles of rock actually are. Yeah. And then after you went that way, you came this way.
Yeah, we looked on the map and saw that on Google Maps there's a smaller water path that goes this way, and it turns into rock.
Yeah.
It turns into a lot of rock.
A lot of rock.
Yeah.
And right here at the beginning, you guys would pick your camp. So Logan had just been for his interview at the Piggly Wiggly in Wetumpka. Wish him luck. That's why the shirt and why he had to borrow some shorts. You see his knee brace there. That'll come into play.
Until we didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And once, I think Cade climbed up on that spot first.
Yeah.
But once we got there, we just sat down and didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
So I guess that became the spot.
Yeah, the spot. It's a magical and beautiful spot. I guess we can walk over that way and try to show folks a little bit of it. And then we want to keep going because I want to get us up where the big rocks are today. Since the water is so wonderfully low for us, quartz everywhere. I mean, every stone is quartz up here. I'm not taking time to
a pocket
really
home.
stop and show you because just like in Corn Creek, you know, it's everything. There's a lot of rose quartz, really all kinds of quartz going through these stones. But here we have the most tranquil of spots. Oh, look at all the deer tracks, dude. There and there. Up through the bamboo. Watch for snakes, Jake.
That was fortuitous.
This giant tree. You see, this is where I did the meditation. Was sitting in this tree and you kind of hang over the ground. But this clearing in here, yeah, is where we'd have our fire. In fact, we can show guys footage from several seasons ago where we're sitting here by the fire. Yeah, the power of a place, right? In the Soul Flight video, when I say I'm hanging over the air, that's what I mean. I was sitting right there meditating. Okay, let's get back in the water and let's keep going. Okay. All right. Come on, Jake.
So there is, again, I mentioned the Rumble page. There's a video called Soul Flight 101, baby, or something like that. And there you can see me as soon as we finished that meditative process. You can see me sort of do my best to describe my experience to you. And depending on how long this takes, perhaps we'll venture that way to wrap up here this evening. Okay, let's continue our luck with these rolling in order. Oh, okay.
Okay, we have arrived at the rocks. And man, they grow even larger up around the bend today. So I came to get up there. We brought Jacob and we have already parlayed with a snake. So he is back on his leash.
I am starting to get worried. I got poison ivy somewhere today and transferred it to my face. It's always a concern. So I immediately see I'm well cleaned. I always immediately go for bath and with lots of salt to care for the ticks, which, you know, ones you encounter out here, as well as all these snakes. But my face and finger are itching. Okay, so here we handed Logan the camera for a sec. It looks like, because these are two short videos, that Logan, I wish he had tuned in here. He may well indeed soon. I hope to get him here on a show soon. But anyway, it looks like he perhaps pressed pause. Let's find out together, shall we? He must have. That's why it's not even going to play for us. Not worth seeing if it's not. But you can at least here start to get a look, right, at what suddenly happens here in this creek. Perhaps we're supposed to be able to get to the meditative videos, so the crap's not going to load. I don't know. That was sort of negative self-talk there, wasn't it? There was no need for that. Okay, so let's gently try the next video. Yeah, see, this is me mid-speech, so that would mean that Logan had is wet. I had to delete several pocket recordings. It is obviously quite wet. Doing our best there. Okay, so moving on. Okay, this isn't an excellent sign because we're not getting the option to play any. So we're going to use the trick we used last time, which is stop sharing. Back. Reload. That's not going to load. I'm going to have to pull a nose hair, or I've got poison ivy. One of the two. Classy, Jason. Real classy. Can't help it. I was in a hurry. Okay. Let's reload. Go back over here. All other tabs are closed. Yes, I know this is a problem with the cloud. See, but I have iCloud down here, but it's not synced up. Well, this is terribly non-entertaining, is it not? Okay, so we're going to have to go back to some old footage of Hatchett Creek, apparently. And that stinks, because much of this was from locales I hadn't made it up to yet with a camera. So there's something you guys are not supposed to find out, I suppose. There's Jacob having a blast. Okay. Yeah, without trying to direct reload, let me jump out from library. Let's get down here to albums. We'll give everything a second, and we'll jump over here to the Hatchet Creek file, see if we can pull a few. So the spot where I had just taken, you just saw Logan and I walk up before we hit the big rocks. This is a photo of us. Let me jump back over here. And nope, let me share now. So this is a photo of us upon one of those very first visits. Here. Now again, you can start to see these hills here. Let's keep jumping. There may be some decent footage. Let's see what this does. Yeah, I know the screen is pitiful. It's not full screen, but I didn't know what I was doing back then. When was that? That was January 2024.
All right, so
Look at the beard.
there may be 100 yards upstream on the precarious rock, mainly because the
I remember that day. It was cold.
rigid today.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
the smoke from the fire. That's where you saw Logan and I earlier. And then the piece that stood out to him was up over there. We can't get across today. Too deep and too cold. But this, I think, is one of the reasons Logan and I were led here. Because if you've seen any other video, you ought to recognize a bit of a rubble field when you see one.
A bit of a rubbly beard, too. Okay, so this was literally probably a year earlier. I would roughly that we first started coming here, and then here were some of my attempts at showing the place off. There's Logan up there making his fire, just showing off some rocks. Here's Logan and I talking about well, you'll see. Our Logan, we're just by the fire, and he's showing me this drawing. Just all of reality.
Yeah, go
a
through
sketch.
the description, Logan. But the conversation we're in is on meanders, you know, and I know that's a topic.
Yeah, So we've got a copy of Graham Hancock's Supernatural there because it's again a handy source for a lot of things. It's an excellent book, but it's got these pictures of the meanders, and we were wanting to discuss those that day.
Sharing this, and I'm going to let him tell the story, but I kind of just wanted you to see what we were doing, you know, and educating ourselves, but also using.
So when you say tell the story, you like, what do you want to know?
Yeah, well, what is this?
What is this?
Yeah, like you told me, you know, I mean, so we have it documented for ourselves here.
Okay.
Or whoever else, posterity.
Okay, so this is like.
So what you see here and the glimpse you're going to get here. Hey, what's up, Ricardo? Let me hop back over here. Good to see Ricardo Calvario, my partner and hardworking man out here trying to preserve history. Let's scroll so I can say hey to you like a proper streamer. What's up, dude? Thank you. Yeah. Good to see you, man. Very good to see you. How's work? Let us know. Good. I'm glad you're liking the show. It's not great or anything yet, but thank you. I'm working on it, man. Just stumbling through it. Okay. Now, what we're seeing here, folks, is not me. I disappeared. That's what we're seeing. Okay, what we're seeing here is the genesis of what will originally draw me to a place, you know, and of course you see here I was sort of following Logan, but as you start to flesh out the backstory and the how of all of this, finding things within and without, you know, I spend a lot of time showcasing this physical evidence, right, that I've found, but I don't have yet. That's why we're here. I've spent a lot of time sort of breaking down what all's gone into it, right? Okay, so here you're getting a shot of that, right? You're getting a shot of what we were actually up to in this place and what we were looking for places, right, for, right? When you start paying attention to the environment, you go, hang on a second, this doesn't make sense. This fits a part of another story, which I've been working on, right? Okay, here we go.
Like, how would I describe it? Think of it as if these beings that you can't see by yourself are trying to show themselves to you in a way that is only recognizable to you. Like,
Bingo.
There's no feeling in it that gives me the impression that anyone else will recognize this and understand it.
He speaks to you in a way that you alone would understand, like any good father. I think that's a point I've made that Logan's hitting on. You know, he showed me that with my daughters. He said, you got multiple. This guy in A told me this. He said, you got multiple kids. You talk to them all the same? I said, no. He said, wouldn't your father do the same? I said, yes. Logan. So they're trying to manifest themselves. That's what we're saying, you know, the meanders are. That's my impression, is that Logan was saying when he drew this, he was saying he wasn't sure. You know, this is a representation of what he saw on one of his shamanic journeys.
It's like a feeling that put itself in almost an image that I visually saw within what I call the shamanic. What's the word?
Realm.
Yeah, the shamanic realm. Yeah, it's been a minute since I had a conversation about this. Yeah.
The real place.
What I would call the shamanic realm, it was a vision that was showed to me by the fellow shamans from previous times. Those previous times being in the past, present, and future, because in this place there is no time. Time is non-existent, although time is in the past, present, and future all at once.
To all those that are here, have ever been here, or ever will be here, thank you for sharing the space. So, again, the meanders. Logan was saying this, and he said, man, I don't know if this is some kind of language, you know, if these are symbols. And so I pull out this and I'm like, Logan, you know, don't you see something here? Again, this is really the meanders I see. It's sort of this, but translucent. I mean, you know, and they're varied. I mean, it's like an individual, you know, they could be this big, that big, just that, you know, there, right? Okay, so that's what they are. Is they're these light bodies, individuals manifesting themselves to you upon your senses, so that you can indeed see them and know they're here.
I just had a video. So what if each individual, like, so imagine this: every single marking on this piece of paper was made by hundreds of thousands of tiny little strokes.
Yeah.
That eventually made what you see,
This is worth it.
even the shading behind it. So imagine that, right?
As above, so below. Just as you did here on this with your charcoal pencil. Somebody did it in that vision that you saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine in every single one of these little markings, there's hundreds and thousands of little markings in those. And now take that and imagine there's like a path through every single one of them individually. So what if behind this one thing that is drawn out on this piece of paper, there could be an infinite number of questions or answers or reasons or something to think on.
This is like what I was saying about the shamanic rock, right?
So that's I've got these published elsewhere, but that gives you guys a little insight into what came first, right? You know, in the whole chicken or egg scenario at Hatchett Creek. Now there is, you see the LiDAR we have of these anomalies that I pointed out. One here that stands out. I'm off track, but the videos wouldn't load for those that are just joining us. I'm going to try to go back to today's videos, but they weren't loading. But here in the exact same area, I told you at the beginning, if you've been here since then, that when you look at LiDAR, you start to find these anomalies appear. And then when you go check them out, again, I've got video of trekking all the way up here. Yeah, what you find is quite worth going and finding my video. No. Dave Chappelle, Mike hit. Okay, let's cross our fingers and see if we're supposed to, hopefully maybe at this point, get back to today's adventure, since, you know, I think I gave you a nice little intro to backlog there. Let me remember, is blue arrow, right? So if we go back here to library now, where we had left off was, let's see, let's give this a shot. And yeah, okay, the one where Logan had, yeah, brilliant. So let's go here.
See, for me, ever since I was a little child, really, part of the magic of places like this is the micro environments, right? So what I mean by that is right here, you have, keep him back for a second. You have your own little waterfall, your own little echo system, little chutes that look like little trees. And then from that perspective over there, oh, that's a huge boulder with more water flowing under it. It's like a cave, right? And yet, you want to look for another world on an even larger scale. It's waiting for you. Just right behind the other one. This one's more treacherous. This one has very odd angles on rocks. But still, the magic for a kid or a kid at heart Now those little rapids you had over there with your little people right over here is one big enough for you to hop and play in as the flowers bloom. And as the rocks get stranger and stranger, that's one stone.
So that's where I'm heading.
The magic of a place that's filled with magical places. You got to get outside, guys.
So I'm in love with the beginning of that video. You know, I was wondering what it would look like. Hey, JC, how are you, man? I was wondering what it would look like on video. Let me hop back over here and manage chat for a second. What's up, dude? Yeah, it was fun. And yeah, Amy, so listen, I nearly broke the ankles once. I left the stick and went way on up here, but only once. But that happens once every trip here. Just about sand, or there's what I call the sea grass, right? It's like I mean the underwater grass. I call it grass because that's what it feels like when you step on it. But it's the underwater fauna, right? Flora, yeah. and that's how you navigate this pretty easily. But the feet got a good workout. What's up, JC? So yeah, I love the beginning of that video. Also, you start to notice the rock. It was weird, right? That angle is strange. Just different. Why is that? I mean, you know? Again. Okay, well, we're going to sit here and we're going to talk for a second. And then I'll press stop sharing. That usually works. Or we'll just keep moving. Let's see. This is a 1 minute video, so it's not really worth the wait. So I'm going to pause it, right? And let's proceed forward. And oh, it's doing it again. Okay, so I'm supposed to just keep going, maybe? Will any of them want to play? This is going to be a problem. Okay, so I'm going to have to find another way, it appears, to get a bunch of this loaded. Let's go back and find what will load. This is my bad, guys. It's worked suitable the past couple of shows, but this is not wanting to play anywhere. So last thing I know to do is to stop sharing. Bring me back center, move back over here. And let's pick perhaps this one. See if it wants to play this way. No. Okay, guys. So we're gonna go back to the old stuff for a minute because I'm gonna fill out this hour, you know, and we'll see where else this goes. If anybody in the chat has something, but this is not going to behave for me. So let me go back to my Hatchett Creek folder, and let's go look up I'd like to find some that are widescreen for you guys. And these early days, you know, man, I wasn't quite filming properly. Here's some where, again, these are the ones where I made last time and I didn't get up all the way, but we're going to have to show something. Otherwise, I'm just going to be embarrassed and ashamed because I got you all in here and only showed you a few minutes of the video because it's not playing right. Okay, yeah. See, you already got Logan's conversation, and the rest of this is crap. So let me do a full reboot here. Tick tock, tick tock. So what's going on, chat? Unfortunately, see, there's just not enough of you, for us to be able to keep going and me to keep this entertaining when none of this will load. So I'm going to sit here and just show you stuff that's not in widescreen, apparently, guys, is what we're going to do here for a minute. Because nothing is going to go the way we want it to go. So let's get back in our folder. And, okay, let's talk about a meditation. Let's not. Okay, so I'm going to have to give up. I'm sorry, y'all. What do we want to do? Let's see, does this conversation? No. All right, what's intriguing? Anything? Nothing. Sitting here looking at me, looking at all my stuff that I cannot get to play. So what I'm going to do is, I guess, have to record some of this and get it to you that way, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a bummer, man. This is a total bummer. Okay. One other place I can look and attempt so that I'm not a complete failure. This is number 5, man. Number 5 was supposed to go okay. We were kind of forced, because I was like, hey, I want to, get it in. And I said I would get it in. Quest for Ancient Civilization videos. Y'all don't want to see me talk about that. Artifact. Those are interesting, but do any of them... Well, that takes us to Mabilla, and nah, we don't want to jump stories. Come on, Hatchett Creek. Some of your old ones want to play. Let's go look up a primary spring. Oh, you know what we could do? I know what we could do. I know exactly what we could do. Okay, let's open this window. Greeting. What's up, Anthony? You're showing up just in time for the things not to work and for me to have to switch gears. So I'm going to pull up my own YouTube page here. I guess we could go all the way back to Rumble, but that's old, and I'm trying to finish out with some new footage. So here we go. I've got one of the first trips out I took with Jacob was to Hatchett Creek, to not where I'm trying to show you. So I'm gonna have to put together a video, and we'll get this out later next week. But commercials are loud. Okay, so hold on. Only in my ear. Okay, let's get past that. I don't want to plug any of you because none of you are paying. Okay, so now here we're going to run with Jacob just to fill in our last few minutes here. Up to Hatchet Creek, just a little further back, and I will go ahead and give you guys a picture of where I'm at, since I'm having to pull back away since the videos didn't behave. Okay, so I have that loaded, so let me minimize you. Producer, do your job, doing it well. Okay, so now I'm going to share with you. Do I have enough maps and LiDAR here? Let's go to, yeah, okay, share. Screen. Hatchet Creek, right. Okay, guys, hopefully I'm little, because I have to flip back and see. So where we're going to head now, this is a pretty decent map, right? So here at the bottom, you'll see this little bit of water is Hatchet Creek. Where we were a second ago was going back up Swamp Creek that way to see the rocks. Instead, you're going to see me begin to venture up a primary spring here, and we're going to see what some of these piles are. All right. Welcome again, everybody. What's up? it all went off the rails, dude. But, you know, that's why I do this live, honestly, is because it gives me a chance to let these things go off the rails and for me to see what I can do, right? To learn how to hopefully be a little more capable, but also entertaining for you lot as we continue this journey of discovery. I introduced the topic, which was really all I was after today. I was hoping you could see all the footage. But here, let's take a peek back further up for a moment here. Yeah, I want to share this tab instead now. Brilliant. Maximize. Share instead. Maximize. Yeah. So me just giving you a little flavor here. We crossed the same bridge. You guys have seen all of this, so you know where we're going. There's Kelly's Crossroads. Here's the ride down. This is interesting to see. When I tell you these things look a little bit like a pyramid, okay?
Hatchett Creek, with its rather peculiar.
Okay, this is what I mean by it looks rather like a pyramid. Now, if you see right here, you know, that comes to a point, and it's stone, okay? I showcased that quite well in today's video as I walked up, which we'll try again to play later, if not next time. But you see quite well, I've also got videos out where Logan and I climb these. Today, I'm going to go climb in between a couple of these, right? This is what you'll see on this video, not today, but quite a while ago. But we're off the rails. I can't even keep up with when it is. I was showing you a video from today. I'm all tired. I'm tanned from today, and we're going to jump back a while because iCloud was all right. But that's what I mean, okay? I'm not calling it a pyramid. I'm just saying, look at it. Just did you look at it? Can you look at it? Are you looking at it? Are you looking at it? It looks a little pyramidal, and when you climb it, it holds its shape. Okay.
Peculiarly shaped piles of this quartz and stone, which Jacob and I will now park and go climb with. So as Jacob and I have made it in, he's going to grab a stick and take a break. Handling the leash and the lone bottle of water between us, filming the hike in was kind of pointless. But as you see, there's a lot of up and downs over this mound on the leash in case there were other hikers. But before we get going any further, right as we enter, you've seen Hatchett Creek now, how big it is. Now, this is one of the little primary springs, which we're going to follow up. And right away, I just want you to get a look at the amount of quartz that's on exhibit. All right. You know, just pick a piece. Let me zoom back out. It almost seems like it's been damaged by heat on that end.
With hotels and vacation
listen,
rentals,
I'm not
Booking.com
making
has something
anything
for
from
everyone.
any of you, so you can just, you know, and why? Why the Muppets?
They just get bigger and more interesting looking.
Okay, let's, here we go. Okay, primary spring that feeds down into Hatchett Creek.
Our stated mission point today, up here, up over many of these piles of quartz and heavy stone, there are some rocks that just don't seem to belong that I saw my last trek up here, and it is quite a ways. It's a little precarious, as you can now make out, because we're way off trail, so we've got to get up there. You see all these rocks jutting out? These are big piles of rocks. And Jacob's headed the right way. We're going to head up there and see if I can find and show you some of these rocks I'd found on a much earlier, years ago, exploratory mission. But as we get started, just to give you an idea of the way these rocks are piled, and then as we start to climb, you see it's just big piles of this stone. The quartz veins running through it, right? That looks like a block almost. But this is a big pile of that, as is most evident. You're doing good, Jacob. Let's see if you freak out when I cross. It's really most evident, like here. Whoa, shit. So slippery right here. That's why I hate shoes. But it's cold. All right, now look here. You see what I mean by piles? Right? Watch it, Jake. Fucking slippery. All right, let's zoom out for the audience. All right. So, big piles of this with quartz sort of veins running through it. Here you can see the quartz well, right? And you can see how it's just piled.
So,
right? That's what these things are. Then Jacob and I are going to try to now navigate.
So again, just to give you a little perspective for next time. So when the videos from today, my adventure up the creek that you were watching earlier, for perspective, you know, all the trees are in full bloom. So I had to kind of work to show you the rock that either side of this portion of Swamp Creek was and is. So here, okay, this is an excellent example here this past winter of what these things are, right? They're these giant piles of rock full of quartz, among other things.
See, piles on either side. And see if we can show you guys some really weird stuff. Dude, told you it's slippery. All right, putting this down. See you further up. Look at him slipping and sliding.
He's like twice that size now.
We came the hard way, man. Okay, we successfully navigated the treacherous bit, right, buddy? Now, let's document one more time. All right, that thing's huge, okay? That's at the top of this little hillock, right? Giant piles of stone. Look at this sucker. Look at the quartz. Let me get the leash in the other hand. All right, look at the quartz running through here. The size of this thing. And you can really see from this vantage point here by the lovely waterfall that it's a big pile of stone. 40 feet up.
What it is.
We're not going to climb that one yet, Jacob. We've got lots of video of that. Look at this.
And a lot of them are kind of pyramidal.
Lots of stones with these markings evident in North Alabama on Lookout Mountain, much, much further north from here. We are still well below Birmingham in central Alabama, just barely up towards Chilton and Coosa County.
Speed this up for you guys.
Okay, a lot of hard climbing left, but here's your vantage point.
There we go.
Piles of rocks.
Yeah. That's a perfect shot there.
And Jacob's going the right way towards some weird stuff, I hope. So this may be B-roll, but we're thick on a game trail.
Just
Because
following
the
this
water
little spring all the way
It's
up.
too deep. It points back here. Just to show you guys.
And here I found a very
Give me a good perspective on it.
different rock.
Okay, we're close to. We've done our hour. I'm gonna take one more peek, guys, over at this fresh footage that I got from today, or what I can do. I know is a guaranteed way. Let me stop sharing there. Let's get myself back up there. How's it going? How's it going, chat? Amy, interesting. It is. It's again. That's that video is called Jaunts with Jacob, Hatchet Creek. It's on the YouTube page if you want to finish it. But what it gives you is an unmistakable glimpse at what you really couldn't see in today's videos. And I'm going to take one more peek before we wrap here and see if any of them want to play. What I can show you here, let's do this. I posted one on X. I could even like be sloppy and sit here on my phone and post them on X, and we could just watch them together that way. But I did post one, so let's share that. I don't want to share the fact that I'm live. Here we go. Okay. So check this out, and then we'll check our cache one more time. Share screen. Let's share our X. Okay, let's take this big. Maximize. Okay, so this was one of the furthermost points I made it to today, and this was a quick video just to sort of showcase, what it was I found right around the corner. Again, here you see the rocks suddenly scattered all across the water, and you have already just seen in the previous video what's up there on my left, are these piles of this rock that is here scattered across this water. You see, and then this rock is even solid, guys, and it goes on up. And some of the footage I've got that's not working, is me over showing you sort of how high, this is, maybe 40 feet up, Okay, everybody, you live, you learn, and I'm going to have to come up with some more solid approach to sharing videos. So, but we will peek one more time. Let's end this share of the beautiful Hatchet Creek earlier today with Logan and I, and let me get both hands operable. Let's do a little full reload. Albums. Hatchet Creek. Library, and does anything want to play? It doesn't, guys. So we're going to end up wrapping it, I think, for Friday night, unless somebody has anything else there in the chat that somebody that took the time to hang out with me live here on my 5th attempt at this. If there's anything anybody particularly wants me to look at or have any questions about, I will go out with a couple of photos of what today looked like, even though you cannot see the video. You can at least see what I was dealing with. This water is exceptionally clear, and then this green grass over this way, and you see in this photo the rock, you see, going sheer up, It gives one very interesting impression standing in the middle. You can see here these large bits jutting out, the rocks the size of Logan down there behind him. Another beautiful shot of how clear the water is. And there were some very, very unique rocks on today's journey. So I look forward to, I guess what I'll do tonight, guys, is I will see even videos I played earlier. Don't want to go right now. So what I'll do tonight is start getting this into uploaded. Oh, here's a strange rock. This will play. Just showing some quartz off. Well, wonder what if, oh, it's behaving. it's going to behave. Okay, we might go a little longer if it's going to behave. Let's see. Casey, I want you to start behave. I wish that one behaved. Oh, the ones. Oh, come on. Okay, so all the funky rocks aren't behaving, but let's run with one that is, and that's better than pictures by far. I think this is one I just showed you. All right, let's take a look at a weird rock. Let me make sure I am tinied. I am. Whoa, that's not what we need. Look at. See, I didn't even take time to. Because it doesn't matter. Nobody's watching, as Ricardo would say. That's why nobody's watching. There we go. Okay. So that's a quartz-heavy rock. Very odd
See
shape.
that? It's right near that.
That's weird, guys.
And all of this.
It's a weird hunk of rock. That's another weird hunk of rock. That is yet another melty-looking, weird hunk of rock. And that is the beautiful Hatchett Creek. So some of these videos that aren't working are a fuller look at those funky rocks we just got a peek at. But we are over our hour mark. Here, look at this quartz. So here's the quartz in here. You can see.
This is a shape reminiscent. Hang on, Jake. From the Coosa. See the quartz running through the back. There and there. It's a beautiful piece. Okay, Jake's ready to swim. He's hot. Well, man, I'm wearing this black coat. You would be too. Okay, that's better.
Get this leash off me.
Oh, no. All right, gotta go, guys.
Okay, so the end is going to work, and here, hopefully this beautiful shot will work, just to give you guys something beautiful to look at and a little sense of the magic of this place, you know, with its weird rocks and its failing videos.
This is why Hatchet Creek is one of my favorite places here in central Alabama.
So look who dropped in. Cade, we were talking about you earlier, bro. Logan called me out of nowhere today as I was on my way to Hatchet to film this, to do this here show, my third this week, because I said I'd do 3 for some reason. So anyway, we were talking about you, bro. Logan's in some of these, but they're not loading at the moment. Yeah, everything went extremely well. This is some of the footage. I'm going to put everything into a larger video and upload it to YouTube or something to get it playable, because right now the cloud is just being, it's farting on me, man. It's not playing the game that we're trying to play. So we're going to finish here with like 1 or 2 minutes of pretty stuff and call it. But dude, I'm so glad you stopped in again, man. We actually, in one of the videos we played here in the beginning, you know, if you get a chance to go back and rewatch, Logan and I walked up to the spot where you guys first would go camp and do the fire, and I even showed some video of Logan and I there by the fire, right? So that's where we are, is that very spot. It's good to see you, dude. See, I didn't make Cade up. He's here. He's right there. Just no. Where are you, dude? You're out. I keep forgetting. Is it Vegas or San Diego? Something like that. Okay, let's look at a few more of these. If they want to behave. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so this is some pretty stuff, guys, here, I think.
Okay, we're almost out of battery. We made it back to Logan and to one of the most beautiful spots on today's walk. So I'm making Logan come over and check it out. Oh, look. Sees Logan.
Logan doing well with that bum knee. See, this is what I call grass.
Logan said, fuck it. Hey, bro, I'm coming.
There he is, Cade.
Okay, we're ticking off powerful places. Let's tick off your introduction to Hatchett Creek and let me go rescue this kid. Might get him to join us tonight.
He didn't, obviously. So there is a solid 15, maybe 20 minutes of footage that's not playing nice that I will get loaded up for you guys, and we will see it in YouTube format, and we will look at it here again. Now that should be, I think, an excellent place to end it. Let me check back with the chat. He is looking good, man. He went for an interview today. He is. He's doing good, and he was very glad to hear that I had come across you. Yet again, he was stoked to hear it. All right, everybody. I'm at an hour 20, and that's about where I try to cap these things. For the friends that do watch them back. Got today's underway pretty well. We didn't get to really get to the meat of it, but you got an introduction. You got an introduction to this place. You got a look at, and you got to see Cade here, who I referenced, one of the original people drawn there with Logan, and then drew me there for these spiritual reasons, right? To go there and connect these places that I found when my life was falling apart and I was in pain and in the dark place, right? I would go to places like this, and I passed that on to Logan, and he took it and ran with it and was showing his friends, and showed Cade. And then Logan showed me this place, and so much has come of this place. I hope just from you got a brief introduction. You got an introduction to the northern part of the Swamp Creek, and you got a brief introduction to climbing up between those sort of pyramidal-like piles of stone, right? And we've got Cade here in the audience who can attest to the power of these places. And that is going to probably do it, ladies and gentlemen. I think for this 5th episode. I've got a busy weekend of podcasting ahead. We're going to do tomorrow, Saturday, we've got the roundtable tomorrow night with Vincent Barrows, Rick Osman, calls himself Sevierville on X, and of course, Ricardo Calvario, who's out working, getting 34 maps scanned in. Bravo, sir, preserving history, making sure our best future is possible by bringing the truth of our past to the present. There's a lot of beauty behind all those adventures, indeed, Cade. And look where it's all leading, bro. I mean, look at us sitting here, sharing with these people. You know, I'm proud to see you here, man, and I'm proud for you to continue to be a part of it, even from far away. It's absolute blessing, bro. So yeah, we're going to continue the series next week. I managed 3 this week. We're going to aim for 3 next week. I might start announcing them ahead of time. I might not, obviously, until I get everything moving smoothly. I don't know that it's worth, giving you guys an alert and getting you in here unless you just see me and want to come listen to me ramble for a bit and figure out and then fuck up and still keep the show rolling, which is precisely why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I am doing all of it alone, from the field work to here to this. So it takes a bit to sort of get a groove and build a flow and all of that, and educate myself on simply doing it all here, producing something worth watching for you guys. I could sit here and record, but that's not what I'm after. I'm after having Cade, who I haven't seen in forever and bumped into in an airport a year ago, and who he's actually been to this spot and helped find it and drew me here, getting drawn in by his algorithm. That's one of the reasons I'm going live, and Amy and Anthony Shadow and Sarah and everyone else. Who did I miss? That Ricardo that hopped in here. It's a community, It's a community of friends. It's a community of people I know and I love and I trust. And so we're just going to sit here and watch me try to begin to get this story out to you guys. And we did that today by introducing Hatchett Creek to you all. Okay, have a good weekend, everybody. I'm going to find my stop button. I'm going to see you tomorrow. And then, I forgot, there's more. Roundtable Saturday, then Sunday, we're doing Mars Disclosure live at 3 p.m. with Brian Corey Dobbs, Jean Ward, I've seen what Jean's got prepared for us for Sunday. It's really going to be a lot of fun. We've got the massive panel as there as always with us. We've got Oleg, we've got Sarah, we've got Ricardo, we've got me. And then Sunday night, Ricardo and I on the Shaman and the Philosopher. And then Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to get back in here and I'm going to keep showing you guys some really, really magical stuff. And we're also going to venture out and start bringing on some local guests. And we're going to start dedicating some episodes talking about life a bit and the processes of pain, suffering, in which so many in this community, nearly probably everybody, has encountered their own flavor or variant thereof. And it's important that we identify and that we talk about that a little bit. Someone found me on X, and they were talking about their pain and their trauma, opening them, sort of building a bridge between physical and spiritual. And that is precisely what a shamanic calling at its heart is, right? Is its trials and its pain and its suffering and its tests, and it's all engendered to open you to higher consciousness, to higher reality, right? Right. And we'll dive more into that next time. Love you, everybody. Have an excellent Friday evening. Be good out there, or be good at it, and we will see you tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. Bye, guys.